May our Father, Messiah, and the Holy Spirit be with us, brothers and sisters. I pray you are all well. We will be continuing with chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31. At the same time, says our Father in heaven, will I be the Elohim of all the families of Israel, and they will be my people. This says our Father in heaven, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. Our Father has appeared of old to me, saying, Yeah, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn you. Again, I will build you, and you will be built, O Virgin of Israel. You will again be adorned by your tabrets, and will go forth in the dances of them that make merry. You will yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria. The planters will plant, and will eat them as common things. For there will be a day that the watchmen upon the Mount Ephraim will cry, Arise you, and let us go up to Zion, to our Father in heaven, our Elohim. For this says our Father in heaven, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish you, praise you, and say, O Father, save your people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, and the woman with child, and her that travails with child together. A great company will return there. They will come with weeping and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they will not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of our Father in heaven, O you nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as a shepherd does his flock. For our Father in heaven has redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they will come and sing in the height of Zion, and will flow together to the goodness of our Father in heaven for wheat, and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their soul will be as a watered garden, and they will not sorrow any more at all. Then will the virgin rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people will be satisfied with my goodness, says our Father in heaven. This says our Father in heaven. A voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation, and bitter weeping. Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. This says our Father in heaven. Refrain your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears, for your work will be rewarded, says our Father in heaven. And they will come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in your end, says our Father in heaven, that your children will come again to their own border. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself this, You have chastised me, and I was chastised, as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn you me, and I will be turned, for you are our Father in heaven, my Elohim. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. And is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, says our Father in heaven. Set you up waymarks, make you high heaps. Set your heart toward the highway, even the way which you went. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel. Turn again to these your cities. How long will you go about, O you backsliding daughter? For our Father in heaven has created a new thing in the earth. A woman will compass a man. This says our Father in heaven of hosts, the Elohim of Israel. As yet they will use this speech in the land of Judah and in the cities thereof, when I will bring again their captivity. Our Father will bless you, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness, and there will dwell in Judah itself and in all the cities thereof together husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awaked and beheld, and my sleep was sweet to me. Behold, the days come, says our Father in heaven, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it will come to pass that like I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, says our Father in heaven. In those days they will say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge, but every one will die for his own iniquity. Every man that eats the sour grape, his teeth will be set on edge. Behold, the days come, says our Father in heaven, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband to them, says our Father in heaven. But this will be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, says our Father in heaven, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. And they will teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know our Father in heaven, for they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, says our Father in heaven. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. This says our Father in heaven, which gives the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divides the sea when the waves thereof roar. Our Father in heaven of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, says our Father in heaven, then the seed of Israel also will cease from being a nation before me forever. This says our Father in heaven. If heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for that they have done, says our Father in heaven. Behold, the days come, says our Father in heaven, that the city will be built to our Father in heaven from the tower of Hananiel unto the gate of the corner. And the measuring line will yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and will compass about to Goath, and the whole valley of the dead bodies, and of the ashes, and all the fields, to the brook of Kidron, to the corner of the horse gate toward the east, will be holy to our Father in heaven, and will not be plucked up, nor thrown down any more forever. Chapter 32. The word that came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon's army besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison which was in the king of Judah's house. For Zedekiah, king of Judah, has shut him up, saying, Wherefore do you prophesy, and say, This says our Father in heaven, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will take it. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, will not escape out of the hand of the Chaldeans, and will surely be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon, and will speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes will behold his eyes. And he will lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there will he be until I visit him, says our Father in heaven. Though you fight with the Chaldeans, you will not prosper. And Jeremiah said, the word of our Father in heaven came to me, saying, Behold, Hanamiel, the son of Shallum, your uncle, will come to you, saying, Buy you my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption for the right of redemption is yours to buy it. So Hanamiel, my uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of our Father in heaven, and said to me, Buy my field, I pray you, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is yours, and the redemption is yours. Buy it for yourself. Then I knew that this was the word of our Father in heaven. And I bought the field of Hanamiel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed the evidence and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed him the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase to Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Maaseiah, in the sight of Hanamiel, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses. I subscribed the book of the purchase before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. And I charged Baruch before them, saying, This says our Father in heaven of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, take these evidences, that this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed, and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For this says our Father in heaven of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards will be possessed again in this land. Now when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase to Baruch the son of Neriah, I prayed to our Father in heaven, saying, Ah, Father, Elohim, behold, you have made the heaven and the earth by your great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for you. You show loving kindness to thousands, and recompense the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty Elohim, our Father in heaven of hosts is his name, great in counsel and mighty in work, for your eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even to this day, and in Israel and among other men, and have made you a name as at this day, and has brought forth your people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror, and has given them this land, which you did swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, and they obeyed not your voice, neither walked in your law. They have done nothing of all that you command them to do. Therefore you have caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold, the mounts, they are come to the city to take it, and the city is given to the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it, because of the sword and of the famine and of the pestilence. And what you have spoken has come to pass, and behold, you see it. And you have said to me, O Father, Elohim, buy you the field for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Then came the word of our Father in heaven to Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am your Father in heaven, the Elohim of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore this says our Father in heaven, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the Chaldeans, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he will take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against this city will come and set fire on the city, and burn it with the houses upon whose roofs they have offered incense to Baal, and poured out drink offerings to other Elohims, to provoke me to anger. For the children of Israel and the children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth. For the children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, says our Father in heaven. For this city has been to me as a provocation of my anger and of my fury, from the day that they built it, even to this day, that I should remove it from before my face. Because of all the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, and their prophets, and the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and they have turned to me the back and not the face, though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. But they set their abominations in the house which is called by my name, to defile it. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire to Molech, which I commanded them not. Neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. And now, therefore, this says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the city, whereof you say, it will be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again to this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. And they will be my people, and I will be their Elohim. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they will not depart from me. Yeah, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land, assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For this says our Father in heaven, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. And fields will be bought in this land, whereof you say, it is desolate without man or beast. It is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Men will buy fields for money, and subscribe evidences, and seal them, and take witnesses in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, and in the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the valley, and in the cities of the south. For I will cause their captivity to return, says our Father in heaven. Chapter 33. Moreover, the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah the second time, while he was yet shut up in the court of the prison, saying, this says our Father in heaven, the Elohim, says our Father in heaven, the maker thereof, our Father in heaven that formed it to establish it. Our Father in heaven is his name. Call to me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things, which you know not. For this says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the houses of this city, and concerning the houses of the kings of Judah, which are thrown down by the mountains and by the sword. They come to fight with the Chaldeans, but it is to fill them with the dead bodies of men, whom I have slain in my anger and in my fury, and for all whose wickedness I have hid my face from the city. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal to them the abundance of peace and truth. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it will be to me a name of joy, a praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which will hear all the good that I do to them, and they will fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure to it. This says our Father in heaven. Again there will be heard in this place, which you say will be desolate without man and without beast, even in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate without man and without inhabitant and without beast. And the voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that will say, Praise our Father in heaven of hosts. For our Father in heaven is good, for his mercy endures forever. And of them that will bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of our Father in heaven. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land as at the first, says our Father in heaven. This says our Father in heaven of hosts. Again is this place, which is desolate without man and without beast, and in all the cities thereof, will be an habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down. In the cities of the mountains, in the cities of the vale, and in the cities of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, will the flocks pass again under the hands of him that tells him, says our Father in heaven. Behold, the days come, says our Father in heaven, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised to the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days, and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up to David, and he will execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days will Judah be saved, and Jerusalem will dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she will be called, Our Father in heaven, our righteousness. For this says our Father in heaven, David will never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. Neither will the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah, saying, This says our Father in heaven, if you can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David, my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. As the hosts of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David, my servant, and the Levites that minister to me. Moreover, the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah, saying, Consider you not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which our Father in heaven has chosen, he has even cast them off. This they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. This says our Father in heaven, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob, and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Chapter 34. The word which came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven with Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army, and all the kingdoms of the earth of his dominion, and all the people fought against Jerusalem and against all the cities thereof, saying, This says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of Israel, Go and speak to Zedekiah, king of Judah, and tell him, This says our Father in heaven, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will burn it with fire. And you will not escape out of his hand, but will surely be taken and delivered into his hand. And your eyes will behold the eyes of the king of Babylon, and he will speak with you mouth to mouth, and you will go to Babylon. Yet, hear the word of our Father in heaven, O Zedekiah, king of Judah. This says our Father in heaven of you. You will not die by the sword, but you will die in peace and with the burnings of your fathers, the former kings which were before you. So will they burn odors for you. And they will lament you, saying, Ah, Master, for I have pronounced the word, says our Father in heaven. Then Jeremiah the prophet spake all these words to Zedekiah, king of Judah and Jerusalem. when the king of Babylon's army fought against Jerusalem and against all the cities of Judah that were left against Lachish and against Azekah. For these defense cities remain of the cities of Judah. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven. After that, the king Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem, to proclaim liberty to them, that every man should let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being a Hebrew or a Hebrewess, go free, that none should serve himself of them, to wit of a Jew his brother. Now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that every one should let his manservant and every one his maidservant go free, that none should serve themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and let them go. But afterward they turned and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids. Therefore the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven, saying, This says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, At the end of 7 years, let you go every man his brother in Hebrew, which has been sold to you. And when he has served 6 years, you will let him go free from you. But your fathers hearkened not to me, neither inclined their ear. And you were now turned, and had done right in my sight, in proclaiming liberty, every man to his neighbor. And you had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But you turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom you had set at liberty, at their pleasure to return, and brought them into subjection to be to you for servants and for handmaids. Therefore, this says our Father in heaven, you have not hearkened to me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, says our Father in heaven, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they had made before me, when they cut the calf in twain, and passed between the parts thereof. The princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests and all the people of the land, which passed between the parts of the calf, I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies will be for meat to the fowls of the heaven and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah king of Judah and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, says our Father in heaven, and cause them to return to this city, and they will fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without an inhabitant. Chapter 35. The word which came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, Go to the house of the Rechabites, and speak to them, and bring them into the house of our Father in heaven, into one of the chambers, and give them wine to drink. Then I took Jazaniah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Habazaniah, and his brethren, and all his sons, and the whole house of the Rechabites, and I brought them into the house of our Father in heaven, into the chamber of the sons of Hanan, the son of Igdaliah, a man of our Father in heaven, which was by the chamber of the princes, which was above the chamber of Maaseiah, the son of Shallum, the keeper of the door. And I set before the sons of the house of the Rechabites pots full of wine and cups. And I said to them, Drink you wine? But they said, We will drink no wine, for Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, You will drink no wine, neither you nor your sons forever. Neither will you build house, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyard, nor have any, but all your days you will dwell in tents, that you may live many days in the land where you be strangers. This have we obeyed the voice of Jonadab, the son of Rechab. Our father is all that he has charged us, to drink no wine all our days, we, our wives, our sons, nor our daughters, nor to build houses for us to dwell in. Neither have we vineyard, nor field, nor seed, but we have dwelt in tents, and have obeyed and done according to all that Jonadab our father commanded us. But it came to pass, when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up into the land, that we said, Come, and let us go to Jerusalem, for fear of the army of the Chaldeans, and for fear of the army of the Syrians. So we dwell at Jerusalem. Then came the word of our Father in heaven to Jeremiah, saying, This says our Father in heaven, Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel. Go and tell the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, Will you not receive instruction to hearken to my words, says our Father in heaven? The words of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, that he commanded his sons not to drink wine, are performed. For to this day they drink none, but obey their father's commandment. Notwithstanding, I have spoken to you, rising early and speaking, but you hearkened not to me. I have sent also to you all my servants and prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return you now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other Elohims to serve them, and you will dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers. But you have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened to me, because the sons of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, have performed the commandment of their father, which he commanded them. But this people has not hearkened to me. Therefore, this says our Father in heaven, Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Behold, I will bring upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem all the evil that I have pronounced against them, because I have spoken to them, but they have not heard, and I have called to them, but they have not answered. And Jeremiah said to the house of the Rechabites, This says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, because you have obeyed the commandment of Jonadab your father, and kept all his precepts, and done according to all that he has commanded you. Therefore this says our Father in heaven of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Jonadab the son of Rechab will not want a man to stand before me forever. Chapter 36. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that his word came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven, saying, Take you a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken to you against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations from the day I spake to you, from the days of Josiah, even to this day. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I purpose to do to them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. And Jeremiah called Baruch the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of our Father in heaven, which he had spoken to him, upon a roll of a book. And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am shut up, I cannot go into the house of our Father in heaven. Therefore, go you and read in the roll which you have written from my mouth the words of our Father in heaven in the ears of the people in our Father's house upon the fasting day. And also you will read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities. It may be that It may be they will present their supplication before our Father and will return every one from his evil way. For great is the anger and the fury that our Father in heaven has pronounced against this people. And Baruch the son of Neriah did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book the words of our Father in heaven in our Father's house. And it came to pass in the 5th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, that they proclaimed a fast before our Father in heaven to all the people in Jerusalem, and to all the people that came from the cities of Judah to Jerusalem. Then read Baruch in the book the words of Jeremiah in the house of our Father in heaven in the chamber of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, the scribe, in the higher court at the entry of the new gate of our Father's house, in the ears of all the people. When Micaiah, the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, had heard out of the book all the words of our Father in heaven, then he went down into the king's house, into the scribe's chamber, and lo, all the princes sat there, even Elishama the scribe, and Delaiah the son of Shemaiah, and Elnathan the son of Achbor, and Gemariah the son of Shaphan, and Zedekiah the son of Hananiah, and all the princes. Then Micaiah declared to them all the words that he had heard, when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. Therefore all the princes sent Jehudi the son of Nethaniah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Cushi, to Baruch, saying, Take in your hand the roll wherein you have read in the ears of the people, and come. So Baruch the son of Neriah took the roll in his hand and came to them. And they said to him, Sit down now, and read it in our ears. So Baruch read it in their ears. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, they were afraid, both one and other, and said to Baruch, We will surely tell the king of all these words. And they asked Baruch, saying, Tell us now, how did you write all these words at his mouth? Then Baruch answered them, He pronounced all these words to me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in the book. Then said the princes to Baruch, Go, hide you and Jeremiah, and let no man know where you be. And they went in to the king into the court, but they laid up the roll in the chamber of Elishama the scribe, and told all the words in the ears of the king. So the king sent Jehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of Elishama the scribe's chamber. And Jehudi read it in the ears of the king, and in the ears of all the princes which stood beside the king. Now the king sat in the winter house in the 9th month, and there was a fire on the hearth burning before him. And it came to pass that when Jehudi had read 3 or 4 leaves, he cut it with the penknife, and cast it into the fire that was on the hearth, until all the roll was consumed in the fire that was on the hearth. Yet they were not afraid, nor rent their garments, neither the king, neither any of his servants that heard all these words. Nevertheless, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had made intercession to the king that he would not burn the roll, but he would not hear them. But the king commanded Jerahmeel the son of Hamelech, and Seraiah the son of Azriel, and Shelemiah the son of Abdiel, to take Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet. But our Father in heaven hid them. Then the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah after that the king had burned the roll. And the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying, Take you again another roll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned. And you will say to Jehoiakim king of Judah, Thus says our Father in heaven, You have burned this roll, saying, Why have you written therein, saying, The king of Babylon will certainly come and destroy this land, and will cause to cease from there man and beast. Therefore, this says our Father in heaven of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, He will have none to sit upon the throne of David, and his dead body will be cast out in the day to the heat, and in the night to the frost. And I will punish him and his seed and his servants for their iniquity, and I will bring upon them and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and upon the men of Judah all the evil that I pronounced against them, but they hearkened not. Then took Jeremiah another roll and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire. And there were added besides to them many like words. Chapter 37. And King Zedekiah the son of Josiah reigned instead of Coniah the son of Jehoiakim, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon made king in the land of Judah. But neither he nor his servants nor the people of the land did hearken to the words of our Father in heaven, which he spake by the prophet Jeremiah. And Zedekiah the king sent Jehukal the son of Shelemiah and Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah the priest to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Pray now to our Father in heaven, our Elohim, for us. Now Jeremiah came in and went out among the people, for they had not put him into prison. Then Pharaoh's army was come forth out of Egypt, and when the Chaldeans that besieged Jerusalem heard tidings of them, they departed from Jerusalem. Then came the word of our Father in heaven to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, This says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of Israel, This will you say to the king of Judah, that sent you to me to inquire of me, Behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, will return to Egypt and to their own land, and the Chaldeans will come again and fight against this city and take it and burn it with fire. This says our Father in heaven, Deceive not yourselves, saying, The Chaldeans will surely depart from us, for they will not depart. For though you had been smitten, the whole army of the Chaldeans that fight against you, and there remained but wounded men among them, yet should they rise up every man in his tent and burn this city with fire. And it came to pass that when the army of the Chaldeans was broken up from Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, then Jeremiah went forth out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin, to separate himself there in the midst of the people. And when he was in the gate of Benjamin, a captain of the ward was there, whose name was Erijah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah. And he took Jeremiah the prophet, saying, You fall away to the Chaldeans. Then said Jeremiah, It is false. I fall not away to the Chaldeans. But he hearkened not to him. So Erijah took Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah, and smote him, and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe. And they had made that the prison. When Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days, and Zedekiah the king sent and took them out. And the king asked secretly in his house, and said, Is there any word from our Father in heaven? And Jeremiah said, There is. For said he, You will be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. Moreover, Jeremiah said to the king Zedekiah, What have I offended against you, or against your servants, or against this people, that you have put me in prison? Where are now your prophets which prophesied to you, saying, the king of Babylon will not come against you, nor against this land? Therefore, hear now, I pray you, O my master, the king. Let my supplication, I pray you, be accepted before you. But you cause me not to return to the house of Jonathan the scribe, unless I die here. Then Zedekiah the king commanded that they should commit Jeremiah into the court of the prison, and that they should give him daily a piece of bread out of the baker's street, until all the bread in the city were spent. This Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. Chapter 38. Then Shephatiah the son of Mathan, and Gedaliah the son of Pashur, and Jucal the son of Shelemiah, and Pashur the son of Malchiah heard the words that Jeremiah had spoken to all the people, saying, This says our Father in heaven, He that remains in this city will die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goes forth to the Chaldeans will live, for he will have his life for a prey, and will live. This says our Father in heaven, This city will surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which will take it. Therefore the princes said to the king, We beseech you, let this man be put to death, for this he weakens the hands of the men of war that remain in the city, and the hands of all the people, in speaking such words to them. For this man seeks not the welfare of this people, but the hurt. Then Zedekiah the king said, Behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you. Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords, and in the dungeon there was no water, but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire. Now when Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king, then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-melech went forth out of the king's house, and spake to the king, saying, My master, the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. Then the king commanded Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from here 30 men with you, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die. So Ebed-melech took the men with him, and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took their old cast clouts and old rotten rags, and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. And Ebed-melech the Ethiopian said to Jeremiah, Put now these old cast clouts and rotten rags under your armholes, under the cords. And Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords, and took him up out of the dungeon, and Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. Then Zedekiah the king sent, and took Jeremiah the prophet to him into the third entry that is in the house of our Father in heaven. And the king said to Jeremiah, I will ask you a thing, hide nothing from me. Then Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, If I declare it to you, will you not surely put me to death? And if I give you counsel, will you not hearken to me? So Zedekiah the king sware secretly to Jeremiah, saying, As our Father in heaven lives, that made us this soul, I will not put you to death, neither will I give you into the hand of these men that seek your life. Then said Jeremiah to Zedekiah, This says our Father in heaven, the Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, to the king of Babylon's princes, Then your soul will live, and this city will not be burned with fire, and you will live, and your house. And if you will not go forth to the king of Babylon's princes, then will this city be given into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they will burn it with fire, and you will not escape out of their hand. And Zedekiah the king said to Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Jews that are fallen in the Chaldeans, lest they deliver me into their hand, and they mock me. But Jeremiah said, They will not deliver you. Obey, I beseech you, the voice of our Father in heaven, which I speak to you. So it will be well to you, and your soul will live. But if you refuse to go forth, this is the word that our Father in heaven has showed me. And behold, all the women that are left in the king of Judah's house will be brought forth to the king of Babylon's princes, and those women will say, Your friends have set you on, and have prevailed against you. Your feet are sunk in the mire, and they are turned away back. So they will bring out all your wives and your children to the Chaldeans, and you will not escape out of their hand, but will be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon. And you will cause the city to be burned with fire. Then said Zedekiah to Jeremiah, Let no man know of these words, and you will not die. But if the princes hear that I have talked with you, and they come to you, and say to you, Declare to us now what you have said to the king, hide it not from us, and we will not put you to death, also what the king said to you. Then you will say to them, I presented my supplication before the king, that he would not cause me to return to Jonathan's house to die there. Then came all the princes to Jeremiah and asked him, and he told them according to all these words that the king had commanded. So they left off speaking with him, for the matter was not perceived. So Jeremiah abode in the court of the prison until the day that Jerusalem was taken, and he was there when Jerusalem was taken. Chapter 39. In the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem, and they besieged it. And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up. And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, even Nergal-Sharezer, Samgar-Nebo, Sarseshim, Rabsaris, Nergal-Sharezer, Rabmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah the king of Judah saw them, and all the men of war, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden, by the gate between the two walls. And he went out the way of the plain. But the Chaldeans' army pursued after them, and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Riblah, to the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. Then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah in Riblah before his eyes. Also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes, and bound him with chains to carry him to Babylon. And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire, and brake down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, and those that fell away, that fell to him with the rest of the people that remained. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people which had nothing in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. Now Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, Take him and look well to him, and do him no harm, but do to him even as he will say to you. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebuchadnezzar, Rabsaris, and Nergal Sharezer, Rabmag, and all the king of Babylon's princes. Even they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the prison and committed him to Gedaliah the son of Ahiakim the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home. So he dwelt among the people. Now the word of our Father in heaven came to Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Go and speak to Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, This says our Father in heaven of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil and not for good, and they will be accomplished in that day before you. But I will deliver you in that day, says our Father in heaven, and you will not be given into the hand of the men of whom you are afraid. For I will surely deliver you, and you will not fall by the sword, but your life will be for a prey to you, because you have put your trust in me, says our Father in heaven. Chapter 40. The word that came to Jeremiah from our Father in heaven, after that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had let him go from Ramah, when he had taken him, being bound in chains, among all that were carried away captive of Jerusalem and Judah, which were carried away captive to Babylon. And the captain of the guard took Jeremiah and said to him, Our Father, your Elohim, has pronounced this evil upon this place. Now our Father in heaven has brought it, and done according as he has said, because he has sinned against our Father in heaven, and have not obeyed his voice. Therefore this thing has come upon you. And now, behold, I loose you this day from the chains which were upon your hand. If it seem good to you to come with me into Babylon, come, and I will look well to you. And if it seem ill to you to come with me into Babylon, forbear. Behold, all the land is before you. Whether it seems good and convenient for you to go, there go. Now while he was not yet gone back, he said, Go back also to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, whom the king of Babylon has made governor over the cities of Judah, and dwell with them among the people, or go wheresoever it seems convenient to you to go. So the captain of the guard gave him victuals and a reward, and let him go. Then went Jeremiah to Gedaliah the son of Ahikam to Mizpah, and dwelt with him among the people that were left in the land. Now when all the captains of the forces which were in the fields, even they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah the son of Ahikam governor in the land, and had committed to him men and women and children, and of the poor of the land, of them that were not carried away captive to Babylon. Then they came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, even Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, and Johanan, and Jonathan the sons of Kareah, and Seraiah the son of Tanhumeth, and the sons of Ephi the Netophathite, and Jezaniah the son of a Maacahite, they and their men. And Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, sware to them, and to their men, saying, Fear not to serve the Chaldeans, dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it will be well with you. As for me, behold, I will dwell in Mizpah to serve the Chaldeans which will come to us. But you gather you wine and summer fruits and oil, and put them in your vessels, and dwell in your cities that you have taken. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab, and among the Ammonites, and in Edom, and that were in all the countries, heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Judah, and that he had set over them Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, even all the Jews returned out of all places whither they were driven, and came to the land of Judah to Gedaliah, to Mizpah, and gathered wine and summer fruits very much. Moreover, Johanan the son of Chariah and all the captains of the forces that were in the fields came to Gedaliah to Mizpah and said to him, Do you certainly know that Baalis, the king of the Ammonites, has sent Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, to slay you? But Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, believed them not. Then Johanan, the son of Chariah, spake to Gedaliah in Mizpah secretly, saying, Let me go, I pray you, and I will slay Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and no man will know it. Wherefore should he slay you? That all the Jews which are gathered to you should be scattered, and the remnant of Judah perish. But Gedaliah the son of Ahikam said to Johanan the son of Chariah, You will not do this thing, for you speak falsely of Ishmael. And Father willing, brothers and sisters, we will continue with Jeremiah chapter 41. May our Father, Messiah, and the Holy Spirit be with us. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is near.